Thank you, Jason David Frank.
And Mr. Saban.
And thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing.
And don't forget to ring the bell so you get notified when we upload new content.
That's Tom.
And that's Chris. Decca, what do we got on deck for today?
Get out your whiteboards and markers because on today's episode...
On today's episode, we're starting a new series called Missed Opportunities in the Power Rangers universe.
Sounds great, Jess.
This is going to be fun, so stay tuned.
It's PRNT time.
After 10,000 years, I'm free! It's time to watch PRNT!
Welcome, Rangers.
This episode of
PRNT,
your source for all things
Power Rangers.
As Chaz told us in the opener, we're starting a new series that we are calling Missed Opportunities.
That's right. And by missed opportunities, we mean that throughout the many seasons of Power Rangers, we feel the writers missed opportunities to link two or more seasons together.
We currently have about 4 of these missed opportunities, and we want to make this a little mini-series. So every few months or so, we are going to present a new idea to you guys.
All right, so let's get started with our first missed opportunity. It was inspired by a post from our friends over at the Zordon era and beyond.
If you have not checked them out, be sure to do so.
We'll put the link in the description.
In that post, the people over at TZE mentioned that 2 Rangers who are seemingly unrelated share the same last name.
We are, of course, talking about the Black Wild Force Ranger, Danny Delgado,
yeah.
and the Yellow SPD Ranger, Elizabeth or Z Delgado.
Now, in the Power Rangers universe, they in no way have made any connection between these 2 Rangers. But we're saying, hold on a second, there might be a little something here, or there should have been.
So we thought things through, and we think that by not making them related, Power Rangers had missed a huge opportunity for an overarching storyline that could have incorporated 3 seasons.
3? Oh, okay. The 2 obvious ones, of course, are Wild Force and SPD. But the third one we're going to throw into the mix is actually Lightspeed Rescue.
Let's set everything up for you.
Okay.
So we know that Lightspeed Rescue was released and set in the year 2000.
Right.
Wild Force was in 2002, and SPD, although released in 2005, was set in the year 2025.
Right. Now, here's a fact you may or may not remember from the SPD season. We know the events that we saw during the season of SPD happened in the year 2025. But we saw kind of like a historical summary of Space Patrol Delta, and we learned that the Earth branch of Space Patrol Delta was actually started in 2001 under the supervision of Cat Banks. I know, yeah.
So SPD was kind of a secret organization, probably backed by the military.
I would say so, yeah.
Can you think of any other series that had the military feel?
Yeah. This is where Lightspeed Rescue comes in. We propose that after their Marine base was destroyed, that a few of the elite, top secret, intelligent, developing scientist people were recruited by the Earth branch of SPD to help set up the organization on Earth.
Now, here's where we kind of write our own stories that we kind of think the writer should have done.
Right.
We think among those people was a young man with the last name Delgado. Now, this nameless man was a brother to Danny Delgado, who, of course, was the Black Wild Force Ranger.
Right. Now, we know that the Rangers of SPD all had parents that were part of that 2001 team, and then during their experiments, they were exposed to something that disrupted or mutated their DNA, and then they went on to later produce children with genetic powers, and they all later became the SPD Rangers.
Now, we propose that the unnamed Delgado that came from Lightspeed Rescue was part of that team and later became a father to a daughter named Z.
Or Elizabeth. Yeah. So the reason we're proposing that Danny and Z have the same last name is because Danny is actually Z's uncle.
Now again, that's because Danny had a brother who worked in Lightspeed Rescue who was recruited to be part of the SPD team in 2001 and was on the team that produced the SPD Rangers that we saw in this series.
Right. You see how awesome this would have been if they had included this in the show? I know it definitely would have been something that I would have been like, that's awesome that they could have linked everything together. So that's why we call it a missed opportunity.
If you have any thoughts or responses, if you agree or disagree, be sure to leave a comment below. And again, thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing.
And again, don't forget to ring the bell so you get notified when we upload new content.
Also, feel free to message us on our social media, and be sure to keep up to date with all of that so you are aware of future giveaways.
And we also tease what our next episodes are going to be about, and we're actually going to start a fan participation thing with the Mad Lib monologue.
That's right.
Yes, yeah. So help us out with that. So again, thanks for watching, and remember, as we sign off, our hope is that the power will always protect you.
Let's power down.